Hey everyone, this is Don Chin. How are you folks doing today? I am here in my studio in Northern California, and I'm hoping to join with some friends of mine. This is my first live stream, so I'm learning this software called Streamyard that everybody seems to be using, and it seems like it's fairly intuitive, but it's a little what would you say, intimidating your first time because you've got several things that you're juggling, and you have guests in the back room, and you've got the ability to share video and share images and movies and all sorts of stuff. So bear with me. It may get a little clunky, but I'm hoping that it'll be entertaining. And if we've got some veterans I see in the back room that have done this, so I may be leaning on them to help me get out of jams if something goes wrong with the video or the sound. But anyways, I hope you guys had a great holiday season this year. I know it was different because of COVID and we couldn't, kind of get together in our big gatherings. But nonetheless, I do really hope that you had a great Christmas season or Hanukkah, or if you celebrate something else. So my idea today was just to kind of shoot the breeze. And the topic I think everybody's kind of talking about as far as comics go is Wonder Woman 84, which came out. So I'm going to ask our guests if they saw it and what they thought about it. I did a little review on it yesterday on YouTube, and there seems to be a lot of interest because that video alone has been like my most viewed video that I've done in the last month. And I see Ethan Van Sciver posting he's done 2 in the last 12 hours. So I think it must be doing well for him. Anyways, without further ado, I'd like to bring in some guests so they can kind of take the heat off me today. And the first one is going to be my friend RJ from Critical Blast. How you doing?
John?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Great. Is this normally like your day off, or do you stream on Sundays?
I stream every day I can, but my God, guests in the back room might be kind of clunky first time. Please tell me we're talking about StreamYards.
Yeah.
Okay, because my mind was like going other places here because it reminded me of, when I was 20. Really?
Do we have some comments here? Actually, I have a moderator that, let me see if I can give him I want to make him my mod. So I'm wondering.
That you cannot do in StreamYard.
Oh, you can. It has to be in.
You have to be in YouTube to do that.
Okay, so I don't know how to simultaneously look at StreamYard and this.
Well, you can on your StreamYard up in the upper right-hand corner. I believe you can still say view on YouTube. You see are you dual casting?
I'm actually on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope.
Oh, so you went the full bore route.
Yeah, I put in like the $260 just
show off.
It's a business write-off. It's the end of the year, right?
Yeah. So yeah, the YouTube icon, you should have a drop down next to that.
It says view on YouTube.
On YouTube, you can go over there, mute it.
Okay, let me mute it.
Or even just pause it, rather.
Okay.
And then you should be able to do something in the chat with whoever it is that you want to make to give a wrench to.
Okay, so Ray Thulu, he actually does a lot of streams with Mike S. Miller and add moderator. I think I figured that out. Okay, Ray, you should be in. Ray is actually in my hometown, and he won an art contest on Mike's stream, and I was supposed to give him a prize, and so he sends me his address, and it's like literally just a couple miles from where I live. So, long story short, I have a moderator who's actually a local guy for me. So, Ray, thank you for doing this for me, and I hope I don't embarrass you, but I appreciate you doing this. So, RJ, I have you here, and how was your holiday?
Fairly quiet, we just kind of kicked back and watched the boy open up all his presents, and then came back downstairs to the cave. It's where I live. I'm a troll now.
What did he get that was like on his must-have list?
He got a Tony Hawk skateboard, and he got a guitar, which he has to learn how to tune so he can learn how to play. Well, boy, what else did he get that was just he had to absolutely have? No Lego this year. This was kind of weird because it's like every box last year was Lego. So
Yeah.
like 30 sets we had to put together.
How old is he?
13 now. So he's like, pushing Lego aside. He'll get back into him when he's 30.
Gotcha. So RJ, I think I'm going to try to push your product on here. Let me see if I can figure out how to. I want to give you a banner here. So let me. I kind of pre-did these. Is that your YouTube channel on the screen?
That is my YouTube channel right there.
You can look up RJ. He's all over the place. You've been doing these streams for how long now?
Oh, good year and a half now, almost 2 years.
Okay, cool. Well, we've got another couple of guys in the back room. I'm going to bring them in as I saw them in the green room. And actually, since you're speaking about guitars, here's AYRTON McCartney. Hi, AYRTON.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
So
Am I coming through good?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine. So AYRTON is you're more of a comic book fan, is that right, AYRTON?
Yeah. I'm more of a casual comic book fan. I co-host over on the Gospel of Comics channel with Church of Failure, who you done know us pretty well, but
right.
Yeah, I'm super excited for X-Farce Reloaded. Let me tell you.
Thank you, AYRTON. AYRTON and I met on Twitter originally with Church, who does the Gospel Comic Show, and you were the first. I did a Skype show with you guys maybe earlier this year, and we've been friends ever since. And AYRTON's actually an excellent guitarist, so if you need
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, if you need some tips on how to tune a guitar, I'm sure AYRTON has done that many times. So how was your Christmas, AYRTON? Was it good?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was pretty quiet. Me and all my siblings are grown at this point. None of us have kids. So
now, what part of the States are you in?
I'm in Southeast Michigan,
Okay.
like an hour north of Detroit, northwest of Detroit.
Is it rain yet, or?
Yes, it is a frozen landscape up here.
Okay.
Hell has frozen over again.
Yes.
And
exactly.
You're back east, like Missouri area, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm right here in St. Louis.
Okay, that's what I thought. So are you like a Cardinals fan?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Always support the home team.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in some other guys. I don't want to go too long today, but if we'll see how it goes. But I want to be respectful of the weekend, and I know you guys have other plans, but I want to give everybody the chance to kind of pitch.
How kind of you to assume I have a life, Don.
When have you not seen me surrounded by concrete walls?
That's true. AYRTON and I were just on a show last night. Was it last night or the night before? And I think it was.
It was last night.
It's all a blur.
I know.
I
know. What was it? How many hours of streaming? It went from like 6 p.m. Eastern to like 1 or 2 in the morning. It was crazy.
That was interesting because I got invited. It was a guy named Purple Smurf on Twitter. Yeah. He was running the show, and it was weird because he like went for an hour and then he handed it off to someone. Is that how you kind of do it? So you can each be a host, or?
Yeah. So it was a thing that Anthony and Rosetta planned for Rosetta's birthday, which is in the next couple days. To try and like boost her channel a little bit, and she was like, "Oh, well, let's get all these people kind of in the same vein, and we'll kind of do like a stream crawl," is what we called it. So like a pub crawl, essentially.
Okay.
We were gonna do it over on the gospel channel, but Church had internet issues. His stuff went out, so I jumped in and was like, I could do some last minute some music stuff on my my channel, I guess.
So I was invited to like the first hour, I think, and then you guys went like until like almost a 4-hour show.
You were in. I'm trying to remember when Purple Smurf.
I think he started. He started at midnight his time, which was like 9 my time. And
Okay,
then,
so he
and
was
then
like in the middle.
yeah, I dropped in like at 9:15, and then I stayed around till 10. And then when you guys switched over, I decided to, hang out with my wife so she doesn't feel like she's being
Right.
more. But, without further ado, I want to bring in our fourth guest. I saw Mike Barron in the room, but maybe he'll pop back in. But he definitely said he would be here next Sunday, which is our official launch for X-Farce. And I'm thinking we're probably going to do like a 9 a.m. Pacific time show, go for a couple hours, show people what we've got going with the campaign. It'll actually be live, so I'm kind of sweating a little bit. And Ayrton and RJ, you guys know I've never crowdfunded before, and so this is like the last 6 months of my life have been poured into making this thing and tweaking it and learning all this stuff. You got Streamyard and INDIEGOGO, and it's so much marketing directly to the consumer that I never had to do when I was publishing back in the 90s. So we have a gentleman in the waiting room who's actually done crowdfunding before, and I know RJ, you have met Keith Gleason, so I'm going to invite Keith on now.
Hey, hey guys.
Hey,
good. Hey RJ. Hey Don. Finally, we meet.
Thank you. And Keith has his own show as well on YouTube called the Indie Comics Relay, and I'm putting the link to that on the screen. So Keith, how was your holiday?
Quiet. It was nice. It was just me and my wife, and then we just went to the immediate family's house, and that's it.
Hey everybody, and welcome to IndieCon.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh, hey. I was like, I heard my voice.
Right now.
I basically, it was just very quiet. It was nice, wasn't a lot of hustle and bustle this year, which is good. I like being at home. I don't know why. I love 2020, if you ask me.
You're an East Coaster too, right, Keith?
I am Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, nice.
Yep.
I can kind of tell by the accent.
Yeah, I have it and park the car and all that.
Do you like crab cakes, or what is the thing they like back there? Is it
like clam chowder?
chowder? That's right, chowder.
Yeah, I like clam chowder.
Are you a Boston area native, or did you grow up somewhere else?
No, actually, the town I'm in, I've been here most of my life. I did go to a year at Kubert School in Jersey, so I lived there for a couple of years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can draw, but I'm mostly like a writer nowadays, unfortunately.
I like to doodle, and I've been kind of stepping outside my comfort zone, going on the Drawn and Quartered show, and that was intimidating because they have some really good.
Yeah, my artwork style is sort of like cartoony, like Garfield, that kind of stuff. So like, it doesn't really lend itself to like superhero comics, really. So
mine leans more towards Matt Feasel.
Matt Feasel, who's that? I'm not familiar.
He did Cynical Man.
Cynical Man. I'll have to look that up.
I'll find some shots.
All right, yeah, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, mine's more a bored high school student in a math class, just doodling in a notebook.
That's all I did in high school. I don't think I learned a damn thing.
Did you get anything cool for Christmas you can tell us about, or anybody? Yeah.
We got a Roomba, which was kind of cool. We were gonna get one at some point, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah.
We've been playing around with it and seeing how it goes, and
they're pretty cool. We have one, and we have a couple of dogs, so we really like the fact that we're not getting their hair all over the place, and so we run it like at least once every 2 days, and it does a great job.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, one thing that I wanted to say, I like Keith's show. I watched it. Was it almost like a week and a half ago? You had Roy Thomas on.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that your biggest guest ever, would you say?
Big time. And the only reason I got him is his manager, John, where me and him are great friends. We've been friends for, years. And like the few years he's been talking with Roy Thomas over the years. And then somehow he moved into being like, I think he got him like a position at one of the comic conventions up here. He kind of like facilitated it. And then that kind of went into him becoming his manager. And
Wow.
yeah, so and then like he's the one that said like, oh, hey, Roy wants to do some interviews. So I was like, great, let's bring him on. Yeah, it was good. Without the technical difficulties we had, they had, but we hope to get them again down the road and without technical difficulties.
It wouldn't be a stream without technical difficulties.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You always gotta, right when you get to ask that great question, it's like, everyone freezes up.
I've actually done streams where I've been the one to lose internet connection.
Oh, that stinks. And then you have to get everybody back.
No, they stay.
Oh, wow.
They can't do anything in the show, though. They can't control anything. So it's just like, well, where'd he go? What do we do?
And then you can't get back in.
Well, I got back in, thankfully. But
Okay, good. That would be the worst.
I don't know. I must have got a good update because my laptop, when I got it refurbished, it would drop the internet card once a day. This is Matt Peasel. He used to do a comic book called Cynical Man.
Oh, cool. That looks like what is that? Was that cyanide and arsenic cyanide? There's
Cyanide and Happiness.
Cyanide and Happiness. It looks kind of like that.
Yeah, Matt draws a little better than I do.
I'll have to check it out. Is it funny?
Oh yeah, I mean he had a comic book in the late '80s.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'll have to check that out.
I don't know who the publisher was. I can't remember if it was self-published or if he was with a bigger publisher. Do you know, RJ?
I don't know, but I'm about to find out.
Okay, that's cool. So, did you guys get to see Wonder Woman '84? Anybody?
I did.
You did?
I thought about tormenting myself for an hour and a half, but I haven't broke down to do it yet.
Hey, RJ, if we tried to play the trailer on like a share stream, would they probably copyright strike us?
Yeah, because I get trailers all the time. But here's the thing: they won't. When I played them, they don't strike you. They just say we're going to take a portion of the proceeds because it is a fair use kind of thing. You are allowed to play the trailers.
Yeah, you'll get a copyright claim instead of a copyright strike.
Yeah, and YouTube will say this is not a strike. You're not in trouble. It just means that they're going to track some of the statistics and whatever monetization you've got, they're going to take part of that. And I'm like, go with it. I'm still not at my 4,000 hours yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're getting there, though. I can see by the little red line. So,
I just cracked 2,700 yesterday, so I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Nice.
wow.
Nice.
They make it hard, man. That's like I think I'm way below that, but I've had a channel for like 10 years and I used to play a lot of copyrighted stuff and I took all that stuff off because I would like to get monetized. I don't want that to strike me. So I think they're going to review my account, after a certain amount of time, and they're supposed to send me an email when I'm close. But
we did a watch party. The weekend before Christmas, we watched Santa Claus versus the Devil, which was from the public domain website. I mean, I just streamed it and sat off to the side. We talked about it, and I got a strike from BMG because they played Jingle Bells as the theme song, and I was like,
"Oh, are you serious?"
No. And I actually stood up to him on it. I was like, "Look, here's where I got it from. Here's what the link I played. It's from the public domain website." And 3 days later, they contacted me and said BMG has dropped the issue. I'm like,
wow,
right.
Yeah, that's good.
Enlighten me. If you get so many strikes, can they take down your channel?
For good. Yeah. In fact, in 2018, almost notoriously, on Thanksgiving Day, Richard C. Meyer's channel got two copyright strikes in a row from Kwanzaa Sajefu and Magdalene Visaggio, because they went back and they found old videos he had done where he showed pictures of their comic book and threw a copyright strike at it for that, because it's a 3 strikes and your channel is taken down. He got 2 in one day on that.
Yeah, I remember that.
They assumed, or people assumed that they assumed, let's not, we get into people's heads here, that, Richard would be with family and not paying attention to his YouTube channel, not realizing that he's kind of like, the rest of us here. We're just always on our YouTube channel. Like, what?
So,
What just happened?
so his channel got removed, and now he's back as like your boy Zach. Is that what happened? He created.
No, he saved the channel. They did not get to strike it, but one more strike and it would have been taken down, and he'd have been back to square zero.
Gotcha.
So what did he do? Fight him on the copyright claim?
I think he took them both down and then fought them.
Oh wow. Okay. That's good, because the amount of subscribers he has, losing that would really suck. Not that he wouldn't be able to get it all back, but
Yeah.
still to start from scratch, that would suck.
So Ayrton, you have a YouTube channel as well, right? Where you are more emphasis on the music. Is that correct?
Yeah, music or just dumb things. I have some travel videos up there, like goofy travel things. But yeah, mostly music over there.
Cool. Well, if you want to drop a link in the chat and people know where they can reach you, I tried to post the link and it was. I don't really think it's to your YouTube channel, but it's like I said, I'll show you what it looks like. I don't think anyone's gonna type like 30.
I just subscribed.
Awesome.
Oh,
Richard is the only one who can post those links.
So Ayrton, where did you get into comics? What was your the thing that kind of clinched the addiction?
It's one of those things. I can vividly remember I was a very young kid, maybe 6-ish, being at a friend's house and him showing me like some of his dad's like original X-Men comics that his dad had given him. And I thought they were so cool, and like, and they're so weird, those old X-Men comics. And from there, just growing up, I would just every now and then, like, allowance money or whatever, ask my parents to go to the comic book store, and I'd get some. I kind of fell out of it for a while. I don't know, probably after high school, and then kind of started getting back into it, and then met church and got dragged even deeper into it.
Are there any independent comics that you like that you're reading these days? Or are you mainly a Marvel and DC guy?
So I haven't been really following much new stuff lately. It's mostly been going back and like rereading old stuff. We've been slowly making our way through East of West has probably been the one I've been enjoying the most lately. That one's been fantastic. And then who was the most? I'm trying to think of the most recent INDIEGOGO project that showed up.
Have you ever read any of Mike Barron's work, Nexus or Badger, Punisher?
I'm not sure. I was never great at remembering
Nice.
creative teams and stuff until doing the show.
All right.
So
All right.
I have a huge backlog of stuff that I have no idea who was the writer or the artist or anything.
Well, I'll highly recommend these 2 books from the 80s from First Comics, and Mike Barron's actually going to be joining our stream. Thanks, Mike. Hang on. There he is.
Hey.
Are you still watching a football game?
Oh, the Broncos stink on ice. It's just so horrible. It's 13-0 Los Angeles.
Is any team winning today? Because everything I've seen on Twitter today is like, this team stinks, this team sucks, this team's blowing a lead. I'm like, somebody's got to be happy, right? They don't tie at 0.
Well, the Pats playing Kansas City tonight.
How long have you been I thought you'd be like a Wisconsin follower since you were from like the Green Bay area, but you're more.
I am.
Okay.
All right, Pac's playing tonight. I'll be watching.
Okay, but you like the Broncos because you live in the Denver area. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, so you're a Rockies, Denver Nuggets guy.
No, I don't care about them. I only like pro football.
Okay, gotcha.
Packer backer from way back.
Yeah, it's the law. If you're born in Wisconsin, you have to be a Packer backer till the day you die.
Are you born and raised from Wisconsin, Mike?
Yeah, pretty much, off and on.
Okay, so Mike is he's been a long-time veteran of the industry. What was your first published work, Mike? Can you tell us?
Oh, it was probably Nexus.
Okay, with Capital Comics, not
Right.
Yeah. I know you're a little bit older than me, but I remember collecting Nexus, and I got the first issue still. But what really was cool, I think, was the one where you guys packaged a flexi disc.
Yeah, everybody remembers the flexi disc.
So Ayrton, Mike's comic book actually had a vinyl record that you could put on the turntable and listen to the Nexus theme song. So
Nice.
is that on YouTube, Mike? The Nexus theme song somewhere? It might be.
I don't know. It might be.
I'll have to do some research, and if we do another show, I'll try to dig it up. But
Was it like just music, or was it like
It was the dialogue. It was a soundtrack. I didn't. It's not something I would recommend, but it was a nice gimmick. I know people who have the book have never torn the record out, and I think that's the best way to experience it. Because when you read a comic, you imagine the voices of the characters. And it's jarring to have this soundtrack go along with a comic you're reading, because it's not like you're watching an actor saying the words where you can put it all together. And it doesn't match up with your expectation of what that character might sound. But, I'm glad we did it.
That has to be like one of the earliest times someone did that, right?
Wow, somebody must have done it before. I remember there were 45s printed on the backs of cereal boxes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mad Magazine did one called Great Big Marvelous Super Wonderful Fabulous Super Spectacular Day, and the weird thing was that they sang the verse, and then there was like this until, and then things go downhill. But when you played the record again, when it hit until, it was a completely different ending. It had like 5 different endings on it, and you never knew which track the needle was going to go into, and I never figured out how they did that.
This is what I'm reading.
I'm sorry.
let me see. How do I pull Mike up a little bit?
The little square on his square in your control box. We'll give you full view on him.
All the way out. Okay, Mike, show it. There we go.
I just bought that as well.
Wow.
Oh, well, thank you both.
Wow, look at that.
He's even got a bookmark in it, so he's actually into it. He's not just holding it up.
It's a small world. So then I make Mike small again. Let's see. Exit solo. There we go. Awesome. I feel like God.
Don, if I could figure out StreamYards on an iPad,
I think so. I'm an old computer geek, so this is just, I'm just working out the kinks, because next Sunday is the official launch, and I didn't want to seem like I was gonna. I think there's the new word is boomer it up.
You can actually grab the squares on the big screen here and drag them around, and just like put people where you want them to be.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, I like.
It's actually a newer kind of feature that.
Cool. Yeah, there's Mike and Keith. Cool. So we were just talking about Wonder Woman 84. We didn't really get into it. So Keith, you said you did watch it, right?
Yeah, I have an unpopular opinion though.
Oh, you're okay. Well, we won't judge.
I actually enjoyed it. I don't know. I see that I'm in the minority on that though.
Did you like it better than the first one, or?
I would say maybe about equal. I thought this one was more fun though. Like the first one's a lot more serious. This one felt more like a comic book to me, like where it's just crazy over the villain was basically Wishmaster, from like the horror movies,
Right.
But it was just like a little you know, it felt more like comic booky, if that's the term I can throw out there, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
Maxwell Lord.
What's that?
Maxwell Lord.
Yeah, it wasn't quite like what Maxwell Lord is supposed to be, but I don't know, it was fine, you know, what they did. And
Or should we call him the Maxwell Lordian?
Maxwell Lord.
That's
I
good.
like that they used the Dreamstone, which I thought was cool, which I don't know if you guys know the DC history. That's actually like from like Sandman, like Neil Gaiman's Sandman and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
thought that was neat, you know, thought that they did that. I don't know. I thought it was fun. A little long.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but
That was my main beef. Was I think if they would have trimmed about 45 minutes, it would have been a lot better. But you know, I reviewed it. I don't want to play it for you guys because it's, you know, I'm afraid I'll botch it up if I try to share my stream. But if anyone wants to see the video, it's only like a 3-minute review. But I just kind of thought they should have told a little bit more about the Dreamstone, and I think they spent too much time on Maxwell Lord, you know, and
yeah, you kind of got the idea of what he was doing, and then like it just kind of kept going. I know what you're saying. It felt like repetitive with that stuff. My critiques, I think they didn't use the sound or like theme song like that they established in the first movie and in the
Really?
Justice
They
League.
didn't bring that in?
They didn't use it at all. There was a
That's like
variation
the
of
best
it
part
at
of
one
the first
point.
movie.
I agree. Like, there was a variation of it at one point in the movie, but if you had to really listen to hear it, you know, like you couldn't tell what it was. The other thing is, like, I thought like almost every man in the movie besides like Steve Trevor was just awful, which I thought was kind of cliche, you know.
Yeah. I heard that they were making Maxwell Lord a Donald Trump statement.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I heard that beforehand, like going into the movie, and I didn't feel like they were really doing that, which I don't know. I think from the stuff I've seen with Jeff Johns recently, I feel like he might be a secret conservative anyways.
Yeah.
So, and I know he co-wrote the movie, so I didn't feel like I didn't get that from it. You know, usually like I was looking and waiting for Maxwell Lord to say something Trumpian or, you know, something like that. And it just never came, you know, so.
Like in Supergirl when they had, you know, they literally had "Make America Great Again" and
yeah, right.
The president.
Yeah, exactly. So like I didn't see any evidence of that. I mean, I guess the president in the movie was sort of like Reagan, which I don't know if it was or not. They didn't say his name, but
It seemed like it. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know, but I didn't feel it was Trump or anti-conservative at all. I didn't get that from it. Just a little bit of the anti-patriarchy, I guess, you know?
Hey, I wanted to allow you guys to kind of pitch your wares if you want, and then I wanted to show a little bit about the X-Farce launch. But Mike, since you're on here, you want to tell us either about Monster Hunt, Badger, or both?
Sure.
I can share the screen. I think I've got a link to Monster Hunt.
Yeah, that's the one that's still active. It's a Nexus Lone Star Bigfoot Bill team up. 48 pager, stunning art by Matt Weldon. I'll post some of that art to your Twitter feed. Maybe you can get that up there.
Yeah, I'm going to try to share it.
There it is. And
Cool.
It's about what happens when Gormondo comes to eat Earth.
Nice.
Who's Gormondo? Well, that's our version of Galactus.
Oh, cool.
So do you
This
want me to
looks cool, Mike.
scroll down a little bit, Mike, or do you want
Yeah,
to?
go ahead, scroll down.
Let me see if I can figure this out here. Is that working like this?
It's going.
Is that working?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, any place you want me to stop? I did back this campaign, by the way.
Thank you, Don. I have to put in the Nexus comic I'm doing with Kelsey Shannon is also now an add-on. So if you order the Nexus Lone Star Bigfoot Bill crossover, you get the special Nexus issue as well. It's the first part of a 3-issue series. There's the cover to the Nexus on the right, where it says triplets. That's the name of the series because there's 3 of them. And there's 3 kids in it, and they're triplets.
This is shipping next fall. Is that correct?
Oh, I have no idea.
When we get to
I'll
it.
have to ask Mike. He's in charge of this. I doubt it's going to be next fall.
It says the triplets is estimated October, but I think Monster Hunt is more like
No, the first issue of Triplets is going to be out with Impossible Stars.
oh, okay.
Right.
He may be talking about the compilation book, which is going to be a big book and collect all 3 issues.
Nice.
Mm.
So this is a standalone story, right, Mike? There's
Yes.
no other,
Yes,
and how many pages is it?
48.
48. And Matthew Weldon, I've been on some streams with Matthew. Here's some of his black and white work. He uses a Pilot G2 pen, believe it or not. And his stuff kind of reminds me of Pete Craig Russell a little bit. Did you guys
Yeah,
see that?
yeah.
Influence?
Wait, he does that with a
Wonderful artist.
G2 pen?
It's pretty
Seriously?
amazing. Yeah, he's
Wow.
I think he's around 40 years old. He's got a lot of kids, and I've never heard of him until now, but I guess he has that uncanny ability to almost like tightly pencil from his head these really tight pencils, and then he just goes in and inks. But I like his stuff a lot.
This looks cool. Do you have to read anything prior to this before jumping
No.
in?
No,
That's cool. I'll definitely back that. It looks
Thank
really
you.
cool.
Oh, too many pens. Hang on. Here we go.
I backed Florida Man. That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's another.
thank you.
Oh, yeah,
It
that
is
looks
fun.
great.
Where do you see it? It's going to blow your mind. Going to kill you.
Can't wait. Now, is that based on a real person?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
But it was inspired by all those stories.
I gotcha.
Pull that
Okay.
one. And is this one close to being done, Mike?
Florida Man will be done by the end of January. We're
Nice.
close to it. Let me give you a link to that.
Yeah, I found it on.
Oh,
Let's
you
see if I can-
got it on Indiegogo?
yeah, I'm going to try to share the screen.
Okay. It's a video, the greatest video ever done for a crowdfunded comic.
It really is.
Well, I could try to play it. I think I
Oh, yeah.
did it earlier and it was working.
Did you share with sound? Did you share
You
with
have, to
sound?
you have to share audio, Don, too, when you do it. That's something I'm learning.
Okay, so
Unshare it.
if I hit play, unshare it first. Okay, hang on. So don't stop share. Okay.
Okay, now share it again. And this time when you see it on the screen, there'll be a little box on the lower left that you can check that says share audio.
Okay. I don't see that little box.
Don't worry about it. It's up
Okay.
there if you want it.
Let me just try and see what happens. Can you hear it?
Stories.
Yeah. I can hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's working.
Now, writer Mike Barron and artist Todd Mulrooney are bringing the quintessential Florida man, Gary Tuba, to life. Gary's just a regular guy living in a trailer with his girlfriend Crystal, but he's got dreams, big dreams. He just invented house suspenders that will secure any home to the ground in rough weather. And now he's going to show them off on Piranha Pool, the TV show where venture capitalists and entrepreneurs pony up if they like your pitch. But when his gal Crystal gains notoriety as an infamous amateur wrestler, she quickly advances to the pro circuit where her greatest challenge is an angry Australian grappler. Follow Gary and Crystal on their extraordinary journey from rags to riches. To rags, to riches, to rags, to riches. All while dealing with shady lawyers, toilet snakes, wild gators, cheating hearts, feral hogs, and problem shoppers. Back Florida Man today and reserve your very own copy of the Florida Man graphic novel. We're bringing back funny books, y'all.
That is a good trailer.
I feel like I'm watching Swamp People. You know, it's like that guy's like, meanwhile, down in here, gator on the line.
I've watched a lot of Swamp People for inspiration.
So that's a pretty good turnout so far. You look like you've got like 35,000 in backing. Is there going to be a sequel, Mike, or not sure?
The sequel's already written,
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
and it's even better.
And you did a novel. Is that, did you
Oh,
already
there
it's based on
are
the,
2 novels out now.
Oh, cool.
This is the first one, and it's the funniest book ever written. It's my most popular novel, and I got a lot of novels out. The second one is called Hogzilla, and I'm working on the third one now. It's called Catfish Calling.
nice. Now, Mike, are you self-publishing these, or do you have a publisher for your
My
book?
publisher for Florida Man is Wolfpack.
Wolfpack. Okay.
Wolfpack.
And so, how many books have you done in your career?
I think I got about 18 novels in print now, but that's not anything compared to friends of mine like Kevin J. Anderson, who's got close to 100 titles, or Peter Brandfield, who I think has 200 titles.
Wow.
Or Robert Randisi, who's got 200 titles. A lot of those guys I got started late. And if you want to be a novelist, you have to write 2 to 3 a year, at least.
Mhm.
And I can do that. This dream of writing one novel and shooting to fame and fortune and selling the movie rights. Thank you, RJ. Yeah, that's my other series. It's pretty grim. It's about a reformed motorcycle hoodlum.
Say that again, Mike. A reformed motor?
Motorcycle hoodlum. They're noir. It's biker noir. Takes place in the present day. Josh Pratt's one of those guys who's got 1 foot in the lawn, 1 foot outside. He's the court of last resort. I'm writing today because of John D. McDonald and his Travis McGee series, and Josh Pratt is my attempt to do something like Travis McGee.
Okay. So, are you pretty disciplined, Mike? Do you get up like at a certain time of the day and just say, or do you just kind of write as the inspiration hits you? You seem like
You got to write every day.
Yeah. Warren Murphy said in his classes, if you're waiting for inspiration to write, you're not a writer, you're a waiter.
Do you have like a set goal in mind? Like, can you say like, oh, I've written like 8 pages of a comic book today, I'm good? Or do you just go?
I've written an entire 24-page comic in one day. When I'm writing a comic, it's usually 4 to 5 pages a day. When I'm writing a novel, I try to do at least 1 chapter, and possibly 2, and each chapter has to be at least 1,000 words. But a lot of guys write 4 or 5,000 words a day. I have on occasion, rarely, but mostly I just stick to it, do it every day, just hit it every day.
Now, on the comics, I know you were. I remember back in Nexus days, you would like sketch what you had in mind and give it to Steve, right? Do you still do that, or do you more like the written script and you just give it to the artist to interpret?
I write a script. It's very, very clear. It's very easy to understand. And if I do have trouble getting a visual concept across, I will draw. I'll sketch it out and send it to the artist.
Okay. Are you like more comfortable writing just the traditional way, or do you mind doing the?
No, I am more comfortable. I mean, I tried for years to turn myself into an artist. But I'm not very good. I'm good enough that I get my ideas across. People understand what they're looking at. And that's a tremendous aid when you're working with somebody, especially somebody whose native tongue isn't English. Like we're working with some Brazilian artists now. They're very fine artists. But I'm prepared to draw layouts out for them so they can see what I'm doing.
Nice. Thank you, Mike. Do you have anything else you want to pitch, like maybe the Badger book?
Well, we just closed on that. Thanks everybody who kicked in, and we'll probably be fulfilling that in March. We're just working on a whole lot of stuff, guys. I wish I could tell you about some of it, but some of it is just a little. It's just too early. Although we got art coming in, I just don't want to announce it yet. But we got some exciting stuff going on with some great artists. I will say this: that I'm writing a graphic novel called The Thin Blue Line. In fact, it's written. And my artist is a police officer, and he's very good.
Great. Can't wait.
Fantastic.
Thanks for sticking with us, and I appreciate that you came on.
Thanks, Don.
Jordan.
I got to go back and see how bad the Chargers are. I mean, the Broncos are sucking.
All right. Well, hopefully Aaron Rodgers will have a good night for you
All
tonight.
right. Bye, guys.
All right.
Thanks,
bye.
nice seeing you, Mike.
Awesome. That was so cool. So Keith, I want to move over to you, my friend. I know I met Keith through. I reached out to him because I got an Alterna sample pack, and in it was this gem of a comic book called The Mighty Mascots. And I don't know if you've heard of it before.
I have a couple issues of it. Actually.
Oh, you do?
I love
Okay.
it.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for picking it up.
Everybody is a Mighty Mascots fan. Now I know you are. You're getting ready to do a new campaign. Is it over now, Keith? The 4 through 6. Is that correct?
Yeah, I ended up closing it off a couple months ago, but I am working on issues 4 and 5 are done. 6 is in progress, so hopefully, I have a target date of like maybe beginning of February to send those final files to Alterna. So hopefully, I'll be fulfilling the campaign probably late spring. I'm hoping by the time they print everything and also, I'm thinking about doing the next campaign probably around that time too. Hopefully, for the next few more issues, you know.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9, or whatever.
I was going to say I reached out to Ian and Anthony, they're your co-creators on Facebook because I saw they were your friends, and then I noticed when I clicked on their Facebook profiles, they're not from the United States. They're from
They're from Indonesia. So much like what Mike was saying, you know, like Ian, both of them speak pretty good English, although like with Ian, like I said to him, you know, like what do you prefer? Like, do you prefer like taking my script and breaking it down? Or do you like working off thumbnails? And he prefers to work off thumbnails. So when I deliver the script to him, not only do I write the action in, but I also kind of draw it out for him, you know? So, and it seems to have worked so far. Like we've had very little, you know, like very little problems as far as like translation so far, which is great. You know, there's been a few times where he hasn't drawn something quite like I wanted, but I've been able to work with it, you know. So nothing's been like a complete disaster, thank God, you know. So
how does the economic exchange work as far as like what a page creator United States artist would expect versus somebody in Indonesia? Do they have comparable page rates, or you get a pretty good deal working with somebody from a different country?
I think he has a good rate for like an independent artist. Like I'm sure he wouldn't mind. It's let me put it. It's in the ballpark of like $100. So and then coloring is, you know, normal standard, like anywhere from like 25 to 50. And then I do the lettering. So you know, I budget out about, you know, couple hundred per page when I usually do a, you know, Kickstarter or an Indiegogo now, you know, so that I can pay those guys and, you know, pay myself a little bit too, hopefully.
Otherwise, why do it?
Yeah, right. It's not like high school when you're doing it for like a few friends, you know.
So Keith, how was when was your first crowdfunding project? Was that the first Mighty Mascots, like 1 through 3?
Actually, I did. The one I just did, the 4, 5, and 6 was my third one. Before that, I did a Kickstarter back in like, oh my God, like 2012 or something. Right when Kickstarter was first starting for my first graphic novel, Hero Envy, and that was trying to get people to back that, because at the time a lot of people didn't know what Kickstarter was, so asking them to give money to something that was kind of weird and different was kind of tough.
Just give me money. I'm just some dude.
Yeah, exactly. So I had to call in literally a favor from everybody I knew to like just look at it and I kept saying, like, it's a pre-order. You'll get the book. You just got to pay for it up front, you know? So, so that's how I got by. And then from there, I was kind of scarred by like crowdfunding. I didn't want to do it at all. So I was paying a lot of pages out of my own pockets. But now that I'm with Alterna, it's tough to do that because, you know, I could pay for a page like every other week for my paycheck. I can pay for a couple pages. But when you got to produce like a full issue kind of quick, I had to go back to crowdfunding, you know. So, the new one that I just did was easily my most successful, just because I guess being with Alterna helped, and then also Ethan talking about it a couple times really put it in a new level, you know. So I was really appreciative of that.
Yeah. Are you part of the current campaign that Alterna has, where he's selling a lot of different variant copies?
Yeah, I haven't really done anything with it, but I know Mighty Mascots is in there. Like I know there's the inserts for the collector cases, and I think the blank variants are part of that as well. But other than retweeting it a couple of times, I haven't done much with it.
Okay,
You know?
gotcha. So I'm showing Hero Envy right now on the screen.
Yeah, yep. That's my first comic.
Through Mighty Mascot. When did that come out?
I think the first issue was somewhere around 2008, 2009, somewhere along there.
Is it color?
What's that?
Is it color or black and white interior?
Color.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was at the time I was doing a web series called Hero Envy with a bunch of friends. We were like writing and like producing sort of like a sitcom called Hero Envy, and it was kind of like Big Bang Theory if Big Bang Theory was actually funny, you know. It was kind of like that. So and like we did like about 30 episodes of that, and then I kind of wanted to carry the characters over to comic book. If you look at you can see me right on the cover there. I'm one of the characters. So
Really?
Yeah. So like it's based off what we did there. And then after we did Hero Envy, I started just branching out and doing some other different comics. And then Mighty Mascots kind of came along and changed everything.
Awesome. Well, I wish you the best of success. Keith is actually contributing. If you didn't know, Ayrton, he's contributing to X-Farce as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm making fun of the newer X-Men stuff like House of X and Powers of X. I don't know if you read any of that stuff.
I did.
Okay. I'm making fun of how I love Jonathan Hickman. I think he's a great writer, but I'm making fun of how overly complicated it is.
Yeah, how grandiose.
Yeah.
He makes everything.
Yeah, exactly. I love him for that and hate him at the same time for that, you know.
I wanted to give the floor to RJ for a few minutes because he's got something that ties into crowdfunding, but on the business end of things, and it's called Critical Blast Logistics. Do you want to tell us about that, RJ? And should I click on the link that you?
Yeah, but first I wanted to know if anybody was doing a story about Jean Gay mentally swapping everybody's gender identities in the group in your X-Farce book.
Is that something that's happening in the books?
Well, it happened with Iceman, because that was what in that story where the X-Men came from the past, the teenage X-Men came, and and then there's like, you know, contact with Kitty Pryde. Now Kitty Pryde is bisexual for Illyana. And of course Wolverine and Cyclops and her are like, so it's like in the water, and Jean's always involved.
Can't you just stick to superhero stories? You know, it drives me nuts.
So fun.
Drives me nuts when they do that.
I think they're kind of losing a lot of readers this way, but unfortunately, they might learn too late.
Well, it's like when you approach the story with that being the first thing put into the story, you know, it's just like
her doing it is sort of a fan theory. Now, I think those issues would be worth something and would sell a lot more if they actually just came right flat out and said, yeah, she's gone evil or woke or whatever they want to say, and she is doing it. If they made that canon, that would be like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That would be like an exit door too, to revert everything back as well, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, just lean into it.
Yeah.
At least, instead of just pull this stuff just out of thin air like, oh, Iceman's gay now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So Critical Blast Logistics, that was something came to me during a stream. And if you watch any number of my streams, I talk with all these people who are doing comic books and have ideas. And I throw ideas out to them all the time. I'm like, hey, you know, why don't you do a card game that ties into this, or trading cards that look like this, or 3D figures, look at this guy. And finally, I was talking with a guy in the UK, and I was about to say, hey, why don't you? And a voice in the back of my head said, hey, RJ, why don't you shut up, quit giving this stuff away for free, and do it. So one of the things that we have as an impediment to crowdfunding with our friends in the UK and Australia and Canada is that shipping cost.
Right.
Nothing they can do about that. So what I've worked out is spreadsheets and business plans and numbers and currency conversions, and it's all real fun. But basically, I've gotten a way where they can knock their shipping cost on a per unit basis to the same or even, you know, less than what sometimes you're paying for something that's crowdfunded in the United States. And basically, it comes down to the idea of them figuring out on, you know, guesstimating that they're going to send 100 issues over here, 25 pounds, figure out what's going to cost to ship a 25-pound box of everything, just everything, drop ship it straight to me. And then I tell them, okay, based on a per unit, here's what, you know, you would be charged from us. They do all this before they put their crowdfunding page up. So I've been able to take a less than 1 pound package, your basic Gemini mailer with a comic book in it and some trading cards, and knock the shipping down on that from whatever it is in Great Britain right now to about 8 pounds, 8 Great British pounds, which is about, you know, $7 to $8 US. And that's including, you know, me making a couple of bucks for a fee on a per unit basis.
Oh, wow.
So is that going to start
Nice.
next year?
That is starting right now. I mean, the first time somebody, you know, from the UK says, okay, I'm starting my crowdfunder, give me a quote. I can do it for the standard size comics. I've got the numbers worked out for the A4 size because they like those bigger magazine sized comics over there in the UK. I can do both. The funny thing is that the first person to contact me was somebody in America. I'm like, wait a second, you realize I'm not helping you with anything. And in fact, it's going to cost you more because you've got my fee on there. He's like, yeah, I know, but I hate doing it. I don't want to do it.
I mean, that's fair.
Okay, bring it on. But, you know, I figured out everything I needed from, you know, the Gemini mailers to the, you know, the bags, the boards. The bags are the resealable kind. So, you know, I don't have to use tape to seal them shut. The labels, the packing tape, and how much of it is used. And I broke everything down. I was like, okay, you know, here's all the pennies that it takes me to put together one packaged unit. And I take that and I add it to whatever the postal rate is for whatever weight label or weight scale they've got. And like, this is me. My shipping cost, my handling cost, post office shipping cost, my fee, add it together. There you go, per unit. Add it to whatever you've just calculated your per unit shipping cost to me is. And now you know what to put on your crowdfunding as your shipping cost. And I encourage them to, you know, like round it up a little bit, or even like a pound if they want, because it's still so cheap now, to give themselves a cushion in case a currency rate changes or something, or, you know, they get, you know, shipped out more books than they think about. And as I was doing all of this, I was like, that was the nut of it, was to get those rates down to where we can start buying UK books and Australia books. And then as I started looking at the model that was in place, I was like, well, if you're going to, if you sell 100 books to the US using a round number just for easy math, because I'm dumb, overship, send me 125. Because that way when you're in demand and somebody else buys a book, the book's already here. You don't have to, you know, send another box over and, you know, drive your costs back up. And that springboarded into the next big idea, which was if you're going to overship 25, overship by 50. Because now if I have 30 copies of Merry Boys and I have 20 copies of Charlie's London and I have 30 copies of the Lucent from Australia and something from Canada, now I can say, hello, U.S. retail comic shops. I have limited edition, hard to get import comics that you can buy direct from here rather than having to go onesie twosies to everybody. And they can say, yeah, give me 2 of those Charlie's Londons, give me a Merry Boys, give me 3 Lucents, and I'll put them in one box, one ship charge, pay all the crowdfunders the money that funnels through here, the cost for their book, because I'm making the money on the shipping. I'm not making much when I do that, but that's more books out to retailers and putting them on store shelves, which is not where they're ending up right now.
That's a great idea, RJ.
I hope
You're almost like Diamond.
A mini crowdfunding diamond.
Yeah, I remember being on your show when you were kind of explaining this maybe a week or so ago, and the other people in the chat were saying, yeah, you got to have like critical blast logistics, like each and every different country would be.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody wants to do it in the UK, more power to them, because that's the other thing is, I can't help the American crowdfunders who have to pay an exorbitant cost to ship it to England or Australia or wherever, because the shipping is what the shipping is. All you can do is find ways around it, and the best way around it is to send one box instead of 100.
Right. That's great. Okay. Well, I hope you do great with that, my friend, and you'll have to keep us surprised on what you find out, just after you get it off the ground. So, excellent.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Hey, Aaron, do you have anything you want to pitch before I play our X-Farce trailer for?
Yeah, sure. Go check out the Gospel of Comics channel. We have several different show formats depending on how much time we had to prepare for our time slot on Saturdays. We do reviews. We do Biggest Problems in the Multiverse, where we argue things that we think are an issue in comics, no matter how dumb they are, i.e. me, or how real of a problem it is. And we talk about news, pop culture news, and stuff like that. And then my channel, AYRTON McCartney, is basically music. I do have a project kind of in the works for this next year, but I'm not exactly ready to announce it yet, but just a little tease on that.
Awesome. Are you a guitarist and a bassist, or just mainly guitarist?
Mainly guitar, but I play bass, piano, harmonica, percussion, sitar, all kinds of stuff.
And you're the theme song creator for the Gospel, right? Gospel Comics?
Correct. Yeah, that was very poorly mastered and edited on my end, but it turned out cool.
Who would you say is your primary influence as a musician?
I'm all over the place, really. My top 5 guitar idols, if you will, would be David Gilmour, Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, B.B. King, and Albert Collins. I don't know if anybody's familiar with him. And those are kind of the noises, I guess, I tend to try and emulate in my guitar playing.
Awesome, bro. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, Ayrton, and
thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, definitely catch Gospel Comics show. It's a little more salty than my show.
It is. I'm toning it down for you, Don.
We like salty.
I was gonna say if we had a swear jar, a virtual swear jar, I could have some type of video where it sound effect every time someone swears, we'll have to pay you $5 or something. No, I appreciate you guys keeping it clean. I want to make this for all ages. Well, without further ado, I know you guys came here because all of you are supporting X-Farce Reloaded, and we do have a pre-campaign page. Oh, sounds like someone's throwing out the trash.
My wife.
Pulling out the broiler drawer in the oven.
She's making Iron Man or something.
Yeah. She's hammering out an iron suit in a cave somewhere.
Oh, that's too funny. Well, let me go to our IndieGoGo page, guys. Let me take Ayrton off the
Yeah,
solo.
this is weird looking at just myself that closely. I don't know where to look.
Stream close up like Wayne's
Yeah.
World.
A little sweat rag. You're like the guy in Airplane, you know.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay,
I
guys.
don't have a drinking problem.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies. I wish they made movies like that. They don't make
Right.
like Top Secret or Airplane or what was the one with Charlie Sheen and Hot Shots. You know, I think that's what the world needs, and that's kind of what
More Mel
They did a
Brooks.
show on TBS not too long ago that was like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was called Angie Tribeca. It was on like a couple of years. I don't know if they ever made. I know they did 3 seasons. I haven't seen a 4th, but
Nice.
she was basically a cop, and it was that like it was almost like Naked Gun a little bit. It was Rashida Jones, I think, was the main star. Yeah,
Nice.
it was pretty good. It was on TNT or no TBS. TBS has it.
I'll check it
So
out.
look that up if you like slapstick. It was
Thank
really funny.
Good. What else are you guys watching before I go to the video? What show can you Ayrton?
Well, I don't actually have a TV or anything, but
You're a smart
I-
man.
Yeah, probably smart.
Well, I'm cheap. I don't want to pay for it. But
What do you
I
like to
did
stream?
finish The Mandalorian, and I have been
Yeah,
enjoying
that's
that
good.
quite a bit. That's been a good one.
That's a great show.
I'm on episode 4. We had Disney Plus and we watched the first season and we really liked it. And then we let it lapse. And then my grandson kept on texting me saying, "Did you watch it? Did you watch it?" And I haven't watched it. So he came up to visit for Christmas, and so he logged me into his Disney Plus account. So we have it ready to roll.
Nice.
So I'm about 4 episodes in. We just saw the one with all the female Mandalorians. It almost kind of looked like Power Rangers to me.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
But he said, why don't you watch all the episodes and then call me when you want to watch the last one together with me? So I guess it's kind of a tearjerker.
Yeah, the last one's pretty good. I won't say anything.
Yeah, definitely big fan service moment.
Yeah.
All right. So Ayrton says Mandalorian. RJ, what are you watching, or what did you just watch that you like?
Well, I get a lot of movies in to do reviews for the website, criticalblast.com. So I just finished watching this one, Love and Monsters.
How was that? I was curious about that one.
Very, very good.
Really? Okay.
When it starts off, you're like, okay, this is the hapless hero that he can't go hunting. He lives in a post-apocalyptic world where something came down from space, man-made, because they blew up an asteroid that was going to kill the Earth. But the fallout turned all the insects ginormous. So it's like every 1950s atomic monster movie you've ever seen.
Nice.
Wow,
It's
cool.
populating the world, and they all live in little insulated colonies of small people. Not small colonies of people. Didn't shrink them, and they all take care of him because they know he can't hunt. So he's like the cook, but he's going to go out and he's going to go to this other colony where he's found out on the radio his girlfriend from 5 or 6 years ago is living. And you're like, okay, well, he's going to like bumble his way through the whole thing and get lucky. And he actually, it's actual character growth. He learns how to do things, and he goes from being, the stupid McStupid guy to, hey, there's a monster over there. That's okay. I know what to do. And he takes him out.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I saw that on demand, and it looked interesting.
It's very good. I don't think it comes out on DVD till January 5th, so my code that they gave me doesn't work yet. I actually had to watch DVDs on my laptop because that's where I am. And then, of course, I got this puppy on Blu-ray.
What is that? I can't see it.
Hang on.
Oh, Last Starfighter. That's a classic.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, I love that
Great,
movie
and now to
too.
have it on Blu-ray is a lot of fun. And then sometime I got to sit down and figure out if these are any good. If anybody's seen these.
Well,
Haven't
the one in your right hand isn't, but
This one here, so the Hobbit's
yeah.
Yeah, The Hobbit's a little too much, but like the original trilogy is great.
I actually saw the desolation of Smog, and I was like, oh, look, it's Sherlock all over again. Only
Yeah.
different characters.
I'd have to. I was curious whether Love and Monsters was animated or live action. It looks like it's live action, right?
Well, except for the monsters, I'm sure those are animated.
Yeah,
You don't know that for
poster was
certain.
intriguing. It looked interesting. I was curious about that one.
It's probably one of the best movies I've seen this year out of the movies that have been allowed to release this year.
Oh wow, okay.
I would watch it again
All right.
before watching Wonder Woman 84.
Okay. I just finally saw Fat Man, which was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. I love Walt Goggins.
It was funny because I reviewed that because I'm a big Mel Gibson fan, and then just right after I posted the video on YouTube, I thought to build my audience I'd try like a 3-minute movie review. So I watched Batman and I reviewed it, and I kind of had my voice over the trailer, and I posted it on Twitter, and within like an hour the director of Fat Man wrote me and said thanks for your review, and I was like wow, and he started
That's cool.
he started to follow me. And
Nice.
his name is Ian Nelms, and he and his brother, they kind of made independent movies before Fat Man, so I think this is their first kind of big production. And now I've heard that the guys that do the John Wick movies are hiring them to do action movies for them. So I think they're going to be,
Oh, cool.
up and coming directors because they had a real flair. I mean, it's definitely dark, right, Keith? But it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but like to get both of those guys in it I thought was great.
That's on our short list of nominees for the best of 2020 because we do this every year, and I've been struggling because it's like, what actually came out in 2020? Because
Yeah, right.
so it's like, I had to check a lot of these movies. I'm like, did that really come out this year? Or was that 2019? It's like Onward and Mulan and Bloodshot and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah, yep. All before the pandemic hit.
Yeah, so I'm having to count movies that hit Netflix, like Enola Holmes.
What was a lot of fun that I saw if you guys like was Freaky with Vince Vaughn and the girl. It's like a Freaky Friday where like Vince Vaughn plays like a serial killer, and he kills a bunch of kids at like this house, and he ends up stealing. The house has like all these like Mayan like artifacts, and he steals a knife so that he can kill people with it. But when he stabs this girl, they switch bodies like Freaky Friday.
Oh,
and you look up the trailer. I think it's just hitting VOD now.
Oh,
And
good.
Vince Vaughn plays like a 16-year-old girl so perfectly. Like even runs like her and everything. It's so funny. It was a lot of fun. It was by the people that did Happy Death Day, which I thought was a lot of fun too.
it's a good show.
Yeah, so if that's your jam, check that out.
Well, I have a recommendation. I'm going to try to share it here. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. My wife and I just started watching Apple TV.
I heard that was amazing. I heard that show was amazing.
We got a free 1-year subscription, I think, for some incentive, like when we bought a phone or whatnot. But anyways, Ted Lasso is with, what's his name?
Jason, is it Sudeikis?
That's it. Yeah, from
Yeah.
SNL. So he plays basically a college football coach that took his team from like last to first in the United States, and then gets hired to be a soccer coach in England. And it's just really heartwarming. I mean, it's got some language and it's not for kids, but it's just got a real heart to it because he's a real sweet guy. He's going through a divorce and he's just like a fish out of water trying to learn soccer. So you can just kind of imagine, the different culture things that he has to learn, and just trying to win the hearts over of the athletes and the owner. And the owner actually wants to sabotage the team. It's a female owner, and her husband went through a divorce, and she got stuck with the team. So it would be nothing better for her than to make this team suck. So that's why she brings Ted Lasso, who's a football coach, to coach soccer to a game he knows nothing about. But he winds up actually winning a few games, and you can kind of see the interaction between him and his athletes, and it's just really good. I mean, it's something that kind of under the radar. You can see IMDb, it gets like an 8.7 rating, which is pretty good for a series. But
Yeah, the person I heard a few people talk about it said it's amazing.
yeah, definitely worth checking out, guys. So, all right. Well, the moment you guys have been waiting for, I know you've seen this trailer, but the audience may not have seen this. And I appreciate everybody sticking in there that's in the audience, and hopefully we'll get some replays. But I'll go to our crowdfunding page and try to share it. How am I doing, guys, as far as my first time? Is it all right?
Yeah, no, you're doing good.
Yeah, be better than my first time.
All right, so let's go to INDIEGOGO page. Can you see that on the screen, guys?
Yep.
All right. So let me just refresh the trailer here.
You can also make it big, I think, too, right?
You can make it big, and you can make it the only thing on the screen.
Like that?
There you go. Yeah.
Big. And then in your StreamYard, you can pick that option to make the shared page the only thing that's showing. That's your most far right option box.
Okay, I'll try it, guys. Let's see. Far right option, like, does that work?
My name is Professor Baldy, and I run a school for juvenile delinquents. But not just any delinquents. Mine are specially gifted. You might even call them mutants. Trust a few reformed X-Farce. Tangerine. Mighty apple of the eye, Bubba. Jeannie Gray. Beastie Boy. Oh, everybody dance now. Snow Cone. Is he not in here? Or is it just me? And their friends from X-Farce. Cable TV. Remote control. Frog face. Golf around. Meow. Dominoes.
This brick has just the right amount of cheese.
And introducing the Newt Mutants. Beware the rest. Magneto. Mistress Piggy. And not at all breaking the fourth wall. Cesspool. Now, Parody Press Comics is back with X-Farce Reloaded #1. Don't miss this extraordinary comics extravaganza with 7-fold color stories of marvelous mutant mayhem. Back this book today for awesome variant covers and original artwork here. 48 pages of action and hilarious hijinks by some of comic funniest talents. Parody Press, making the world laugh again. Only on INDIEGOGO.
Awesome.
Did you guys?
It's a great trailer.
Was it all right? Sound?
Fantastic.
Yeah, heard it fine.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we finally went back and forth with our video editor. It's Ascension Cinema. They're the ones that did. Actually, they did Wreck Planet for Ethan and Starlight Cats and Johnny Phantasm. They do a lot of. It seems like a lot of Comicsgate creator books, and we've been waiting for this product to be done. So I think you did a good job. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I think a lot of people resonate with it, you know.
Thank you. We have a shorter version too. I kind of ran it by the guys like Adam Post and some of the guys that have been crowdfunding for a while, and they say keep your teaser trailer like under a minute if you can. So this is just kind of a treat to show you guys, but on the crowdfunding pages we have just kind of a more of a 1 minute.
You probably could put both on there. I think they have an option where you can put both, but yeah, I agree with them. You may want to do a shorter one. I think I'm going to do a short one the next campaign I do.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just going to scroll down and just kind of show you what we've got. I'm still working on the variant the various perks on the right. But here's the cover that Bill Mouse did that he redrew for this edition. And that artwork will be for sale. We have a pencil version that we're going to be offering for sale. Price point on the book will be $25, and we have 3 different covers at the moment. One is Bill's, and then the other one is by Mark Lewis, kind of the old style Lee and Kirby. 7 stories, as you guys know. One of them is by Keith, and actually Mike Barron, who was in our chat, he has a story in this as well. We even have a colorist who can make the pages look like they're from a 1960s book. It's kind of cool. So it looks kind of tattered. Yeah, so we're basically taking the old Eclipse book and making it more colorful and remastering it for a new audience. And there's Cesspool. I have a stretch goal. If we hit 50,000, everybody gets a Cesspool whoopee cushion.
That's fun.
We'll see. And then on the right, we have a kind of a lunchbox tier where if you back it, I'll try to go to the graphics so you guys can see that.
What's your goal, Don? What's your goal?
We only, I've heard people say, it should be around 5,000 or 6,000, but my wife and I just thought a good number would be like 1777. So not 17,000, but we only made our goal like 1,777.
Why is a weird number?
1776.
Is it just?
She just likes the number 17, and I didn't want to disagree with her, so I said,
Gotcha. It's actually smart, though. I think like the thing I always say to crowdfunders that for me works for me, keep the goal as low as you can possibly go to produce the book, and then hopefully you make the goal and then some,
Yeah.
Right. So I'm blessed in that this isn't my full-time job. I mean, most of us here have day jobs that pay the bills. So I've been in real estate for a while, and it was a good year despite COVID. For some reason, interest rates and just demand in my area all led to this kind of being one of the better years for me, even though for most people it was kind of a hard year. So this book is going to see print whether we make money or not. It's just a labor of love, and I would be happy if it breaks even. I think it will. Yeah. So the $200 tier is this colossal box, and so you'll get all 3 different covers, and then the one that you can't see that's blue, that's going to be done by Rob Willis. He's a very in-demand artist who has a very detailed style, and Rob should have his cover, at least the pencils, into us this week. So by the time we launch next week, we'll get to see all 3 covers. And then on top of that, you get the X-Farce color mini lunchbox. And then we have an X-Farce ceramic mug. And then Bill Mouse will be also contributing an inked sketch card, like an original art sketch card. So that's what you get for $200 with all the other stretch goal perks if you hit them. And he's been kind of my inspiration on stretch goal perks because he did some really cool ones for Mighty Mascots, like pins and stickers. So that's kind of the whole learning curve, is learning where do you buy these things from? How many do you order?
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, it's just stuff you discover. A lot of it, Peter helped me from Alterna too, and
he's a great mentor. I really like Pete. He's
Sticker Mule.
There you go.
Yeah, Sticker Mule. Get on their mailing list. They always send like mailings with like deals on them and stuff.
Yeah, that's how I got these things here. Is like, we'll send you 50 holographic stickers for like, a donut.
Pretty much.
We're just hungry.
So Keith, on your campaign, how many, like you had little, he sent me a sample pack, which I have put away here, otherwise I would bring them out. But you had like these pin sets, right? Where you
Yeah.
actually assembled the backing card, and he also had a baggie that it fits in. So it looked very, very professional. Did you have to? How many sets did you guys wind up making?
I'm still making them actually. I started mailing out perks for the early issues, so I had to make all the sets for those. That was like about 100 sets, and now I have to make about 300 sets before we fulfill in the springtime.
That's like what Dragon Rage did with the baggie and the.
No, I like that. Yeah, basically all I did was order postcards from Vistaprint, and I printed the postcards to be the back of the pins, and then you can buy like a pin maker, probably for a couple $100 online, and you make your own pins. Yeah, I made all the graphics, and just a lot of time, and a lot of tennis elbow from working that machine, but but it's worth it, because you can do it all in-house for pennies basically.
Oh,
Does your wife help you with these things?
She does, actually, yeah.
Oh, well, she's definitely
my secret weapon. Yeah, exactly.
One thing I thought was really cool. Keith has a indie comics relay show, and I don't know if it was part of that show or if you just did a separate one where you opened up your Dragon's Lair.
Oh yeah, I did like an unboxing video.
Yeah,
I'm always awkward with those, but I bought. They made like a mini Dragon's Lair arcade cabinet, like full. It's basically the cabinet except shrunk down. It's amazing. And so I thought that would be a cool unboxing because I got it off a Kickstarter. So.
And you can actually play the game on it, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like it's unbelievable. I hope they make part 2 in Space Ace at some point.
So how much did that run? Was it a few $100?
I think I paid 100. 100. Was it 200? It might have been 200. I don't remember. It was like a year or two ago that they were doing the Kickstarter for it.
That's awesome, guys. Well, yeah. I think my voice is starting to get a little
convention voice when you're just talking to everybody for hours.
Yeah. Well, before I did this show with you guys, which I kind of did impromptu, I did earlier streams, just like the test ones where you're recording yourself.
Yeah.
I wanted to just kind of see how it looks and practice my banter with the audience. Believe me, it's so much easier when you have live people than if you're just kind of
big time.
Kind of winging.
I hate just talking into a camera to nobody. It's awful.
Yeah, that's tough because I do like the comic reviews, and sometimes I'm like, it's like you say like a million times, every like quirk that you do,
Well, it's harder when you're the host and doing that, and because the host can see something that the guests can't, which is that little eyeball with a number next to it. And if you're sitting there looking at that, that's like 0 the whole time, and they're like, why am I even bothering doing that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
I'm going to have to duck out because I'm being called upstairs. So,
right. RJ.
I will see you guys soon.
Yeah, good seeing you again, RJ.
Good meeting you.
Ayrton, Keith, thank you for making my first show very pleasant and engaging and fun. And I wish you guys the best, a happy new year. I'm sure we'll see each other again online, but anything else you guys want to say before we end the show?
Well, I was glad that we could finally talk. This is like our first time talking. I know it was all been email and Twitter and stuff, so it was nice to finally actually talk to you face to face.
I feel like I know you though.
I know, right? And me too. I felt like it was like an old kinship, like I met you at a convention and we just kept in touch or something,
Someday
what it felt like.
We'll get through this whole pandemic and be able to hang out together. That'll be cool.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to. I've been trying to get to the San Diego con. I can't even tell you how many how many years now trying to get a table there. It's like I get close every year. I get on that waiting list and I get closer and closer.
That must be brutal.
Yeah, it definitely is. I finally got into New York like 5 years ago. and I haven't relinquished that spot since. You know, that one was so hard to get into too. You know.
Wow.
So,
Nice.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate it. Ayrton, I'll definitely catch you on your streams as well.
Awesome. Thank
Say
you.
hi.
Thanks so much for throwing me on. I had taken a nap after running some errands and doing some stuff, and woke up to your message like, oh, okay, wait. I had to like check the time zones. Like, wait, did I miss it?
yeah, I know. Same here. Like I hardly check my Twitter on the weekend. You know, only in the early morning or late at night. And I just happened to look today, and I saw your message, and I was like, "Oh crap, I can make that." It was like an hour. I saw it an hour before the broadcast. So
Yeah, same here.
Nice.
yeah, nice meeting you too, Aaron. I subbed to your channel. I'll check it out.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Everybody in the crowd, Ray, my original moderator, thank you for being there. And I don't think we had any trolls, did we today? I doubt it. Anyway.
No, that comes with time.
Yeah.
Right.
The trolls are fun. The trolls are fun though. You just play off of them.
Yeah.
All right. Don't let them bother you, and you're good.
Well, thanks, guys, for hanging out, and we will catch you next time. And everyone, thanks for spending your Sunday afternoon with me, and we will enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll
All right. All right, guys.
All right.
See you, man.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.